Hello. I feel like it's been a hot second since I've actually talked to you, but I have done a fair amount of kind of recording of what's been happening around my life for the past few days. So this is just a little Vlogmas recap. I think of 4, 5, and 6, I'm pretty sure. So this is Sunday morning. I am kind of really busy around the house, puttering. Somehow I've become a busy putterer, but there's a fair amount of stuff, cleaning and decorating and organizing that I really want to get done that hasn't happened during the weekdays. And I was out of town last weekend. I'll be out of town next weekend, so this is kind of the opportunity to do it. But I will just use this little moment here to talk about the past few days, and then today we'll go into a different video. So on Thursday we went and we got a Christmas tree. It's final season for Matthew, so it can be hard to find like a time to go and get our tree. We were hoping to do it the previous weekend, but obviously with all the travel stuff that didn't happen, we ended up getting it on Thursday. I'm so happy with our tree. I was talking to Matthew in the car on the way to go pick it up. I'm like, I think I want a lollipop tree this year. And he's like, what's a lollipop tree? And I'm like, I want one that has like a fair amount of like a trunk before it gets to the greenery. And then I want it to be like robust, like a equilateral triangle. Okay, that's a bit extreme, but you get the picture. I want it to have that kind of shape to it. And I did actually come away with a tree that almost fits that prompt, so I'm really happy with it. Hubble's been really happy with it. I am starting to think about how am I going to keep him away from the tree. You'll see some videos here where he's a little bit too interested. We did have him last year for Christmas, but I think he just like wasn't fully formed when we were doing all the decorating and Christmas tree stuff, because he was very, very kitten at that time. So have no fear if you're watching the videos of me decorating and you're like, oh my god, what is happening with that kitten? I am going to come up with a plan. I'm not going to let him climb the tree or eat the tree or what have you. So it's not my first rodeo. We will solve it. And in the meantime, he's having a great time supervised with the tree. So that was Thursday for me. And then on Friday, I had such a fun time. I went over to a good friend's house and we had a craft night. We did candle making and wreath making, and we had phenomenal pizza. Here in New Haven, like pizza's like a big thing. And it's like a specific style of pizza, and everyone will be like, you have to go to Sally's, you have to go to Pepe's. Some people will be like, oh, modern's the best, which is another kind of classic. It's newer, but it's still like that classic pizza vibe. However, my friends and I pretty reliably go to Atticus now, which is actually a bakery, like this cute little shop and bakery. It's where I usually go for like my soups. But they have a second location that does pizza, and they have the best pizza. It might be a hot take in New Haven, but Atticus has the best pizza. So we had like a cabbage and sausage, which I put Laugan Ma on, and it was just phenomenal. And then another real classic New Haven thing, the other one was mashed potatoes and mushroom. And so if you've never had a mashed potato pizza, don't knock it till you try it. I did, and then I ended up trying it and it was phenomenal. So it's a lot of carbs, but it's really good. So that was my Friday, and I'll put some videos here of both the making process and the kind of just lovely night that we had, but also the wreath that I ended up making. And I'm thinking now I want to put some ornaments on it, so you might see some B-roll later on of me adding on like little ornaments onto the wreath to make it just a little bit more colorful. And then yesterday I finished our stockings, so I now have all of our stockings hung on our fireplace. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I've never made stockings before, but it ended up being a relatively easy process, and I'm really happy with the results. It's nice to have a handmade stocking. It's one of those things that I'm like I'm a sewist, I'm a quilter, I'm a knitter. It's kind of absurd that I haven't made our stockings. I don't love the ones that we've been using. They're like, you know, whatever I could get at Target or what have you. So I'm really happy to have like proper heirloom quality handmade stockings on my hearth this year. Yeah. I think the only other little update that I was going to share with you is I did get a little bit of an acquisition, a little package in the mail. So for Black Friday, is it Camille? Yeah, Camellia Fiber Company had a little sale. I think it was like 20% off, and I have always wanted to try their yarn, and they had the sale as 20% off, and then they had this yarn that was additionally discounted because it is being what's it called? They're not going to sell anymore. This particular line of yarn is not going to be sold anymore. It is a 100% Highland wool fingering weight, and this is what it looks like. It is their CFC, so Camellia Fiber Company Pepper Fingering. It's 430 yards, 400 grams. It's a 2-ply non-super wash. This colorway is Salt. They might still have some. I don't know how quickly this is like selling out, but I was really delighted by the way that it stripes itself. It does turn out to be like a self-striping, and there's like a example you can see on the website of that self-striping. It's like very marled. I'll show you in a minute what it looks like when I start knitting it up. A very marled striped. Anyway, I kind of really fell in love. Sorry about that. I ran out of storage space on my phone. And I don't remember what I was saying, but yeah, so I acquired this. I actually acquired 3 skeins. So these are the 2 I haven't wound up yet, and then I have what it looks like when it's caked, and what it looks like once you start. Let's see if I can't. It's a little bit of a fiddly bit. Once you start knitting it, so this is just a 3-stitch I-cord. And you can see how I mean by like those marled stripes. So I got that from Camellia Fiber Co. I also got these stitch stoppers, which I just thought were so darling, especially with the yarn. Something about that is really making me happy. And the whole purpose for buying 3 skeins is I have been having a hankering to knit another half and half triangle shawl. I'm wearing the one that I finished this year. I absolutely love it. It's really squishy. It's really big. And it was just so great to knit on. It might have taken me 2 years because I wasn't like reliably knitting on it all the time, but it was like my reading project, my movie project. Kind of like a little constant companion, and I loved knitting it. This one was knit in linen quill, so like for the original design, it's all like based on knitting it in linen quill, which is from Pearl Soho. And I was just like, I think it's time to cast on a new one. I do cast on using an I-cord, which is not what is called for in the pattern, but I really like, let me see if I can find it. I really like just like the rounded edge. You can see I'm adding tassels to this one, but you get like a really good edge if you cast on using an I-cord, and then if you when you turn your work, you have an I-cord edging. I really like that look. So that's what I'm doing here. I have not bought the colors that I'll use for the second half triangle, but I have a kind of vision in mind. Yeah. Okay, so those are your little updates for Vlogmas. I hope that you're still enjoying seeing what I'm getting up to this month in all of its cozy wintry glory, and I will talk to you again in a day or two. Have a lovely day.